Is it right to reopen the economy amid the pandemic? As countries begin easing coronavirus restrictions and lifting lockdowns, many still wonder if doing so without a vaccine in sight is a good idea for public health, despite damage to the economy. In the Philippines, where quarantine restrictions have been eased and some malls have reopened, the government had to issue an important reminder. Presidential spokesperson Harry Roque said, "We must understand that we have started to slowly ease restrictions in order to revitalize the economy, and not because we are safe." The influx of shoppers in malls and commuters on the road have added to fears that reopened businesses may cost the lives of hundreds, if not thousands, amid the pandemic. Stephen Pearlstein, a columnist for The Washington Post, argues that isn't what we should be worrying about. He writes, "The debate we should be having, and the debate that absolutists on both sides seem determined to shut down, is over what costs and risk we are willing to accept as a society." According to Pearlstein, there are no riskless or costless solutions. So, what are we willing to risk? What's interesting is that the data on lockdown effectiveness in terms of mortality is also quite shaky. Simon Jenkins of The Guardian notes, there is no correlation between fatalities and lockdown stringency. The most stringent lockdowns, as in China, Italy, Spain, New Zealand, and Britain, have yielded both high and low deaths per million, Jenkins said. Still, Pearlstein says it is inevitable that people will die, and preventing one death is not worth $1 trillion in national income, or forcing 10,000 businesses to fail, or requiring 300 million people to quarantine themselves for a year or more until everyone is vaccinated. Martin Wolf of the Straits Times, however, argues that lockdowns are worth the economic pains, but they must be viewed as an investment whose fruits will be a more tolerable future. While the lockdowns may impose big economic costs, they buy us extra time to implement systems we would need to suppress COVID-19 in the long run. Wolf writes that public resentment of lockdowns will not compare with what would happen if premature opening led to a resurgence of the disease and new lockdowns. Others believe that public health could still be protected as the economy reopens, but only with the right measures in place. In an editorial, the Manila Standard writes that a modified quarantine scheme could work in the Philippines, but only if the government conducts more extensive COVID-19 testing procedures to keep the virus curve in check. As governments weigh their options amid the pandemic, only time will tell which countries got it right. Are you in favor of reopening the economy despite the risk it poses to public health? Where do you stand? Share your thoughts with us in the comments below.